Tango down, 5x5. Thank you. Bear Independent Brief, 30 June 25. If you've been living underneath a rock, there was a shooting in the vicinity of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho yesterday. In the area of the Kenfield Mountain Natural Area, north of Coeur d'Alene proper, west of Coeur d'Alene National Forest, south of Clarksville and Lake Hayden. Shooter appears to be a single male, military-age male, who set a fire, either he or associates set a fire in the Canfield Mountain area, to which wilderness firefighters responded. When they responded, they started taking well-aimed direct fire, which the media is calling a sniper, which is not a sniper. This is basic rifleman skills, but the media doesn't know what they don't know. When the firefighters started taking well-aimed direct fire, suffering casualties, they got onto the radio and contacted law enforcement, which then started dispatching officers to the scene, who also started taking rounds and taking casualties. Situation escalated. County SWAT, state level assets, and federal assets, including aerial assets, were brought in to the tune of approximately 300 officers from the local, county, state, and federal level. The interoperability here is important. Note that the firefighters got a hold of law enforcement using radios. And I know the guys and girls who wear the blue uniforms don't always get along with the guys and girls who wear the red uniforms, but y'all are on the same damn team, and you should probably start acting like it. In fact, we will be in Georgia in the near future training both law enforcement and firefighting personnel, and it's one of the points that I intend to make. Whether you guys like each other or not, you're on the same team. And it's all a big joke about who's gayer, the police department or the fire department, until somebody's trying to kill you. But I digress. Federal assets brought in, including a Customs and Border Protection Bell Jet Ranger that was equipped with forward-looking infrared, which is challenging to use when you have a wildland fire going on. And so tactics, techniques here as far as the aggressor is concerned, it's hard to get a thermal signature for the aggressor when you have both smoke to look through and fire on the ground. So that's definitely interesting. And then there was another aerial asset that was brought in, which was described by the media as a civilian-owned Blackhawk. That, first of all, it's not that there aren't civilian-owned Blackhawks. There are, but that lights up a light bulb. Who owns this civilian-owned Blackhawk? Minor rabbit hole. A company called Corpad Incorporated, the owner of which is a professor at the University of Montana. He's a science nerd, basically focused on riverine ecology, so river basins, mountains, etc. Makes sense given his geographic location, but he's also been on several, if not dozens, of international, quote, international humanitarian missions. There are people who do that. It's also phenomenal cover, because the company that owns Corpad, the front for Corpad, is an Alamo rent-a-car company. And while Google Maps shows Corpad to be permanently closed, Dun & Bradstreet business listings shows Corpad is still active. Super interesting. So on short notice, a company that's allegedly closed launched a Blackhawk, likely with forward-looking infrared, civilian owned. All these are front companies, just reeks of three-letter agencies. So that's interesting. That three-letter agencies, not the FBI, not DHS, unmarked Blackhawk, owned by a company behind another company that, for all intents and services, doesn't exist anymore, owned by a dude who does a lot of overseas travel, air quote, humanitarian missions. Super interesting, okay? Just super interesting. So, was it their guy on the ground? Or were they just super interested in their guy on the ground? Were they, keeping tabs on their boy, or was this another one of all? He was on our radar kind of guy. I don't know. And I'm not saying that I do know. I am saying it's super interesting. Thanks to the coffee money, Long Road Farms. Appreciate the super chat. Now, as part of the reporting that is happening for this event, if I was the commanding officer of the TAC team that responded, I'd be furious because there are pics of his boys all over the internet. That's a problem. Don't give them anything that you don't want them to have, good guys or bad guys. And so I realize, it's summer and it might have been hot up there, but hot compared to what? Yeah, over 100 degrees here yesterday. Okay, cover your faces up, because now there's hundreds, if not thousands, of pictures of these TAC teams with their faces showing and their patches and their names. It's no good. No good. Okay, exactly right. Their OPSEC is blown. Now, the shooter was apparently able to kill two of the firefighters. Questionable, depending on reporting, as to whether or not any of the law enforcement has died, but I do believe that law enforcement suffered casualties. And the aerial assets allegedly were able to vector ground forces onto the location of the shooter, where they located him deceased of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. So the story goes. Shooter's identity has not been released publicly thus far. And so we don't know who this person was, but it brings up another interesting aspect here. Sarah Williams, I believe is her name. Yeah, I think that's her name. No, Sarah Evans? Sarah Evans. No, Sarah Williams is different organization. Sarah Evans. Sorry, brain details. Sarah Evans, she of the former CIA intelligence analyst. Sarah Adams, that's her name. Thanks, Striker. Sarah Adams. What's up, Bear for 87? Thanks for the super chat. Sarah Adams has said on the Sean Ryan show, as well as many other publications, what's up, Cody Cassidy, that there are multiple sleeper cells inside of this country that have somewhere between, her terms, 5 to 7 or 6 to 8 shooters. So we're just going to call it 6 to 8 shooters. And that they intend to dress like law enforcement, firefighters, and EMS. Thank you, Corn Pop. Appreciate you. And then start hitting soft targets here domestically. And that both the civilian populace of the United States and law enforcement is ill-equipped to deal with this. And that's accurate. Plausibility versus possibility. All things are possible, not all things are plausible. I don't have any intelligence other than from Sarah Adams, so single source reporting here, that this is a potential threat vector. Doesn't mean she's wrong. It's just unconfirmed. She and people associated with her are the only people talking about it. So single source reporting there. Doesn't mean they're wrong. It's just unconfirmed. So with that, is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. Is it plausible? I don't know. But let's say it did happen. Here's some of the potential threats there. Number one, law enforcement across the nation via the alert system or alert series of trainings for active shooter response trains for a single aggressor, or in very rare cases, a pair of shooters. They don't train for 6 to 8 shooters. That gives 2, 3 to 4 man teams, or 4 2-man teams, or whatever, 3 man teams. My point is, they don't train for fire and maneuver, and that's a huge problem. Note that in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, with a single shooter, more than 300 local, county, state, and federal officers responded. 300. And it took half a day to come to a resolution with a single shooter. So they say. We don't know how many shooters there were. We just know it's reported. But so they say, a single shooter. Imagine on a nationwide scale, you have 6, 8 shooters in teams in a dozen places, or several dozen places at the same time. There's not enough resources to go around. Now, if I was the bad guy, if I put my I'm the bad guy hat on, the other thing that I would do, let's say I have 8 personnel. I want 2 3-man teams. So 2 3-man teams. And then I want 2 other guys wreaking havoc on local power distribution and local communications. And I'm no one. So 'twas it I. Yeah. Bad. It could get bad real fast. Will it? I'm not here to sell you a bill of goods to get you all spun up about, start acting breathlessly, get filled with anxiety, and ruin your week. I'm just bringing up possibilities here, all right? And so the possibility is potentially very, very, very bad, which goes back to sleeper cells. Most recently, one of the head scumbags of Iran, you might have heard of them. We just dropped some giant-ass bombs on them because Israel said so, has issued a global fatwa against the United States of America. And what's a fatwa? It's a jihad order. And so we don't know what's coming or not, but if we go back to the 6 to 8 man teams dressed like law enforcement, and this is critical, dressed like law enforcement, EMS, and fire, the civilian populace is not going to immediately start shooting back. Yes, Ed Cilio, Sarah Adams, you are correct. You are the 900th person to correct me, but I appreciate you. Happy Monday. The local populace is not going to immediately start shooting back. That buys them time. Speed, surprise, violence of action. That puts speed on their side, because we've all been conditioned. Oh, Paradise Pete, this smells of Shin Bet. Wow, your nose works great, homie. The local populace is not going to begin to shoot back because we've all been conditioned. We don't shoot cops. We don't shoot firefighters. We don't shoot EMS. And so is this predictive programming of one dude in Idaho shooting firefighters to get everybody to go, we don't shoot firefighters. Let's reinforce we don't shoot firefighters. And I'm clearly not for shooting firefighters. But is there another wave coming of people dressed as firefighters and law enforcement and EMS doing terribly bad things? And then what do we do? Are they the bad guys or are they the good guys? And the good guys aren't even trained to deal with more than maybe 2 shooters at the same time. Okay? See how it all starts to compound here? Yeah, it gets real ugly real quick. Real ugly real quick. So, in any event, 2 of the firefighters were pronounced dead. I believe there were law enforcement casualties as well. And whether or not they have expired from their wounds, I do not know. That has not been publicly reported yet. But I find the whole thing super interesting. I got a black helicopter that's owned by a civilian that's behind 2 different front companies who's done a lot of overseas humanitarian missions. That's super interesting. And then I've got all of the tag team guys with their faces, their badges, their name tapes, their patches, all just splattered all across the media. Very interesting. Of course, Christy Noam, she of the great makeup and hair, had to say on X that the agency was actively monitoring the scene and vowed justice will be served. At the same time that FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino said on X that agents were headed to Coeur d'Alene to provide tactical and operational support. Residents are, of course, stunned. This never happens in our area. Yeah, man. Speed, surprise, violence of action. Normalcy bias. It's normalcy bias. And that's part of what, if Sarah Adams is correct, and I'm not saying that she is, but normalcy bias is part of what will be exploited in these attacks. Because we all know the cops, the firefighters, and EMS, they're the good guys. Even the bad ones are still on the spectrum of good, right? Okay. So, and did it work? If you're the bad guy, if you're this shooter in Coeur d'Alene, did it work? Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I'd say mission successful. Start a fire, sit and wait. Now, one shooter, if the purpose here was maximum impact, one shooter, how you supposed to L-shape with one shooter? You know what I'm saying? 3, 5, 10, a dozen guys. If it was really, if the point was maximum effect on target, one shooter is not maximum effect. You know, it's biblical. A 3-stranded cord is not easily broken. All right, so if the point was maximum effect, was the point maximum effect on target or maximum effect in the media for reporting purposes? Probably both. Sam Off Grid, thanks for the super chat. I'm keeping it on a swivel this week. Thanks, Bear. You're welcome. Praise Yah. So that's the whole Coeur d'Alene thing. In the immediate tactical, of course, like prayers for the families of people's who lost their fathers, lost their husbands, 100%. How many? And now let's think from let's zoom out operationally. How many more wildfires are going to go unserviced because now these wildland firefighters have in the back of their head, if I go running up there, there could be somebody to shoot at me. Okay. At the same time that the big beautiful bill is talking about, well, maybe we need to sell off of some of these public lands. Okay. And let's go up to strategically. The fall of an empire, the age of empires. And we've been welcoming, paying for Trojan horses to come in here for at least the last 20 years. Good question, Nick. So without the media, could this environment exist? It's all about the narratives that they're spinning with this. Always look at the talking points. What are they talking about? It's interesting. So the sheriff doesn't appear to have been in on it. Kootenai County doesn't appear to have been in on it, which is good. Or he was, and who cares? I'm not saying that he is or isn't, but he made a statement that any person, civilian, law enforcement, otherwise, any person that had a clear shot on the shooter was authorized to take him out. While at the same time saying, avoid the area, there's law enforcement over there everywhere. Okay, cool. I don't know, man. It seems a little bit bigger than dude with guns starts fire in woods because he's mad at the world. Add in a black helicopter behind 2 different front companies. And this is just basic OSINT. I did this while I was laying in bed last night. Okay. And for why? Does it dovetail into something larger here? Like I said, at a minimum, wildland firefighters are going to be significantly demoralized. Do I want to run up that mountain and go put the fire out knowing that somebody could start shooting at me? That's interesting. Yeah. Let's shift gears. From Axios, investors have moved into a post-tariff world. S&P 500 was on track to hit a new record on Friday, but then sank when President Trump announced the termination of trade talks with Canada over a controversial digital services tax. Within an hour, investors decided not to care, and stocks closed at an all-time high for the first time since February. Wall Street is largely post-tariff. The market is a forward-looking machine, and it's already priced in better than expected trade deals before they are signed. Headline-driven volatility is given under this administration, so don't let that impact your portfolio, advisors say. Jay Pulaski of TPW Advisors says he pays no attention to tariff policy anymore. Torsten Slok, remember we talked about Torsten Slok last week, chief economist at Apollo, indicated that Trump may be outsmarting everyone in a recent note, arguing any extension of the 90-day tariff pause, which Trump has signaled, would decrease uncertainty. Lower uncertainty is good news for both businesses and investors. And Friday's action was reflecting the improved investor sentiment and overall investor confidence, says Mike Dixon, head of research and quantitative strategies at Horizon Investments. So consensus is building around the idea that investors can stomach headline volatility around policy uncertainty, but they can't afford to miss out on the rallies that come after. In other words, the market may be insulating itself a little bit from Trump and his mean tweets. Reduction in volatility would be good. I think it would be good. I don't know if you guys think it would be good. I think it would be good. There's also a just absolutely, what would I call it? Interesting for 100 different reasons. Thanks for 20 Canadian bucks. ALPC, telling it like it is. Love your channel, brother. I appreciate you, Alpaca. Yeah, playing preppers. So they show pictures of special operators, but not the shooter. Yeah, how interesting. And at what level are they special operators? I mean, county TAC team, are they operators? Yes, in the law enforcement world they are. Is that, it's not Delta. It's not, Naval Special Warfare. CAG, they're CAG now, Combat Applications Group. Okay, it's not CAG. It's not DevGru. It's not MARSOC. It's not the 75th Ranger Regiment. It's not those guys that we know of. But if it was, if Delta showed up and was like, yo, give us uniforms, they wouldn't have name tapes on them. They wouldn't have patches on them. Or they'd have fake name tapes, fake patches, but still, no face shots. No face shots, bro. Put the baklava on. The balaclava? Yeah, baklava. It's delicious. From RT, there's a really super interesting article titled, How Christian Zionism Distorts Scripture to Serve Empires. Oof. Subtitle, Why America's Blessed Israel Obsession Risks the Church, the World, and the Truth. Written by Dr. Matthew Mavach. Now, again, RT, Russian propaganda. I'll always consider the source. But there's some fire in this article. I would encourage you to read the entirety of it. But we'll begin with the beginning here, because one should begin in the beginning. During a recent interview with Tucker Carlson, U.S. Senator Ted Cruz displayed not only alarming geopolitical ignorance, but also a brazen willingness to distort scripture in defense of his unwavering support for Israel. The verse he quoted, Genesis 12:3, was shamelessly truncated, a common tactic used to lend divine legitimacy to Zionist exceptionalism in end times prophecy. This verse has become the theological bedrock of a militant worldview known as Christian Zionism. Even when Jewish critics of Israeli state policy expressed dismay at the historical illiteracy and theological crudeness fueling this metastasizing ideology within American evangelical circles. I recall debating this phenomenon over a decade ago on LinkedIn with Jewish and Israeli interlocutors. I had dubbed it a trailer trash cult, a fusion of biblical illiteracy, apocalyptic fervor, and geopolitical delusion. Forgive me while I do agree with this Russian dude. Some of my Israeli counterparts, in a strange display of casual prejudice, alternately referred to Cruz and present Secretary of State Marco Rubio simply as the Mexican. Christian Zionism thrives on biblical illiteracy and selective scriptural appropriation. Though often presented as ancient and immutable, it is in fact a relatively modern phenomenon emerging alongside the rise of political Zionism in the late 19th century. Rather than treating scripture sacrosanct, it distorts the biblical canon into a pliable tool, one that must conform to the ideological imperatives of the moment. In a nation such as the United States, which has been at war for nearly 95% of its existence, this distortion also serves as a theological cover for an endless war doctrine, with cherry-picked verses used to sanctify geopolitical aggression and the confection of new enemies. Senator Cruz invoked Genesis 12:3 to justify unwavering U.S. support for Israel, but his citation was conspicuously selective. The full verse reads, "And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed." King James Version. You can tell from the these and the verilies and what thou art fors. This is a prophetic promise given to the patriarch Abraham, pointing ultimately to his seed. Seed, singular. Jesus Christ. It is through Christ, according to Galatians 3:16, that all families of the earth are offered reconciliation with the divine. If that blessing is universal and messianic in scope, where then is the ethnic or national exclusivity so often ascribed to modern-day Israel? Cruz's theological framework and practice aligns more closely with Talmudic ethnocentralism than Christian soteriology. Consider this remarkable claim from Rabbi Chaim Richman directed at Christians. Quote, "You guys are worshiping one Jew. That's a mistake. You should be worshiping every single one of us because we all die for your sins every day. The Jewish people in the land of Israel are the bulwark against the orcs, okay? The orcs are coming not to a theater near you, but to your home." End quote. Continuing. It's a phenomenal article. So, I agree with this Russian guy that the interpretation per Galatians 3:16, and Paul makes this point over and over again in the New Testament in his epistles. It's not two seeds plural, it's two seed. All right, Alpaca, I appreciate you. $20 American. Communist state of Rhode Island. Oof. Best of luck, homie. So, super interesting article from RussiaToday.com. And Cruz has just been taking an absolute ass whipping for his Tucker Carlson interview. That's another thing. So look for Cruz, but big picture, let's zoom out. Look for Cruz to be discredited. Why? Well, the performance was terrible. There's a lot of noticing going on. It's pissing off a lot of people. But in that noticing, and some people fail to rightly divide scriptural truth versus historical truth, which should agree with one another if you just do enough digging. But also the differentiation between the biblical Israel, law of first mention, Genesis chapter 32, and the nation state of Israel, which are not the same thing. And I've said that, I've been saying that for 7 years on camera, and it's only just recently got popular, so everybody continues to notice. Oh well, here we are. You guys want to go for a walk? Let's do it. First of all, shout out right here. A young man sent this as that, and that's pencil. And that's me via pencil. Look at that. How good is that? That's phenomenal. Let's ruck, says Kermode. A ruck's in the truck. That's Lauren. She's doing media stuff. That's my wife. She's doing general manager stuff. It's a Browning 30 cal 1919 A4, and that's ammo cans with 200 rounds of length 7.62 by 51 millimeter ball. That's first aid kits that one of our local guys bought that he hasn't picked up yet. If he's watching today, get in here and pick your stuff up. That's where my desk used to be, and when I walked in this morning, it wasn't there anymore. Happy Monday. And put it over there.
You'll love it eventually. She knows what's good for you. It's nice for
Promoted to director of training.
That's hilarious.
This is Fripp and Mike building stomp bags.
I refuse. Okay, incoming. Let me know.
Good job. Oh, I'm bringing a bag in. I bought a bag for to try for field medic stuff, and it's made by a company. I don't know. You know what? I'm not even going to endorse them yet. But I got another one coming. But they provide a lifetime warranty on their bags. So I was like, okay, let's try it. So that's coming. It's the line. It's the racks. That's the no peasant shit sign. Back stock over here. It's the bucket line where your wound care buckets and all that come from. And, this is Christine. Let's go ambush Christine. She has selective hearing. Show us your awesome nails, Christine. What do we got going on here? I feel like you give awesome back scratches. Do you?
Maybe.
Maybe? I mean, my wife works here. Quit hitting on me, Christine.
You don't make me call.
Don't call. That's Lola.
I'll give him a back scratch.
That's the vicious shop beast. She keeps all of us safe. She looks small, but she can jump, and she's been expertly trained by Jen and Terry to rip your throat out.
That's right. She goes for the jugular.
It's Jen and Terry over
Hello.
here. Don't tell them what we're working on.
Look,
Don't.
very secretive.
There were so many of y'all on Friday. Do you need this? You still using this?
That's not the original. But
It's not?
Nope.
Oh.
That's one.
Oh.
That's one I've made already. Now we're putting.
Oh.
Yeah. Now we're putting belt loops on. Look. He's like.
I don't know if you're looking at the screen, but there's so many of y'all on Friday that were like, "Oh my gosh, we're gonna get one of those. I gotta blah 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 blah." So, I don't know if you could read that, but there you go. Working on it. Okay.
No,
All right. I'll leave this here for you to continue to play with.
Please.
Okay. You're welcome.
Yep. Thank you. Did this all fit good?
Looks great.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
Well, this one was kind of hard to get them in,
Yeah.
so I made it a little bit bigger.
A little bit bigger?
Yeah.
Listen, I'll just prototype. My biggest concern is right here on the edges that the stitching doesn't pull out.
Nope.
Cool.
Back
Nope.
stitching.
Back stitching.
Back stitching.
Good job.
Back
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Thanks, brother.
Hey, everyone.
Jen says, have a blessed day, everyone. This is, all this is stuff. You know, webbing and stuff. That's fabric. I had a question about a stomp bag.
The longer one, she could fit more on there than just the one.
You know, grits and eggs, don't ask questions like that. Isn't Alamo Rental Company the same rental company Liversberger rented the Trump Tower Cybertruck from? Yeah. That don't notice. You're not allowed to notice the details.
What are you doing over here?
I own this place. You brought me over here. You brought me into the executive suite. They want to know, is the stomp bag full kit only right now?
Yes. Yeah, because we have had a supply chain nightmare getting bags in. I pulled the bag only option because basically you need the full kit. You don't need just the bag. So until we can properly change vendors for
It's a nightmare.
it is.
People, they don't get it. They're like, oh, just buy some more of them.
No.
I wish I could buy some more of them.
I mean, we currently had people that had waited since the beginning of April.
Yeah, we've had
For a
people
stomp
waiting
bag.
since April for stomp bags. And we appreciate you if you're waiting since April for stomp bags. Salson says, Hami, you look so pretty.
Thank you. I
And
got
I'll-
a date tonight
And I'll
with a
allow it.
really hot guy.
I'll allow
Super
it
excited.
because Salson's a chick. The rest of y'all.
Training in the house for the wilderness. Got my little 30-pound plate carrier from back in the day.
Just wearing plates in the office.
Yeah.
Just for weight training for wilderness?
Yep.
Yep. You got a...
Dog hair.
No,
Oh,
you
this,
got...
this is old. This is from when I was doing Tim stuff in Vegas. That's what this thing is. But
What's-
it's still heavy.
What's Thames? Tell the people.
Tactical emergency medicine, medical services.
Mm.
We would do search warrants and head back up SWAT teams and stuff like that.
Cool.
Good times.
Thanks, bro.
Yes, sir.
Bare minimum is about to go out. Red SOB is about to go out. Red Boo Boo Kit's about to go out. There's stuff. Finished kits. And more stomp bags. Got to get built. Wilderness medical kit. It's got to get built. Striker and Ed. I know Striker's on. I don't know if Ed's watching right now or not.
Striker and Ed's bags are right there. They're labeled.
Okay, beautiful. Striker and Ed, your wilderness trainer kits are right here,
Their books are right here.
and your books are over there. Leave them there. Mike has your instructor books as well, and I have rope and carabiners for y'all. If one less thing you got to bring. So I got you some carabiners here, some Petzels, some real ones, and climbing line as well. So if you don't have that stuff, I got you. Ryan,
Yes.
tell these fine people about whatever it is we're promoting while I go pee. There you go.
I was about to say, wow, what an angle. Hi, everybody. It's me, Lauren. How are you doing? Do you like my lamp? Like my lamp?
SistersCandles.com.
Oh, yeah. You can see how much I love it because I've already burned it down to here. Nisa, if you're watching, I need more candles, please, okay? Because it's getting low. It's not actually LaurenSistersCandles.com. It's actually Modern Roots Candle Co. And my sister-in-law, whom I love dearly, she hand pours these, hand makes them. She uses what's called Clean Scents. They're soy wax and they don't have phthalates and all that stuff. So I really like them, and obviously I burn it here at the office. Yes, thank you, Alyssa. Modern Roots Candle Co. Oh, and you can use code REFUGE10 for 10% off. Okay. They also have a candle called Refuge, so if you really want to represent, you could get the candle and then tag us on Instagram and do hashtag Refuge Medical, hashtag Modern Roots Candle Co. Okay, on to the cool things. So, this hasn't gone out in the newsletter yet, but I'm going to tell you anyway. And then Harmony just went, oh, Lauren, but I'm going to tell you. So we have a Safe Start bundle going on right now. Basically, we have a lot of parents who are sending their kids off to college come August, and they've just graduated. And we wanted to put together a bundle for them. So it is the Travel Fac. And I don't know if you guys remember, but a while back we did a collaboration with a company and we accidentally bought too many of these jumper boxes. It's called the S8 jumper box. And we accidentally bought too many, so we were like, oh, we'll do like a little deal with it. Well, we did, and everybody went crazy and bought a whole bunch of them, including people in the office. My husband and I have already used this box to jumpstart a tractor and to jumpstart my van. It's amazing. Oh, and to jumpstart his truck. Or maybe it was his truck, not my van.
The International out
Anyways.
there got jump started as well.
With that box?
Yeah.
Yeah, our
So
big old International truck got jump started with that box.
58,000-pound GVW
It's like
truck.
this big, and it comes with like the little cords and stuff. You can use it. Oh, we also used it in a tornado. We got hit by a tornado, I don't know, a month or so ago. And we had that box with us. It has a built-in flashlight, and we ended up using that while we were in the storm shelter. So it's very multi-use. And then it also comes with road flares. So the bundle is the Travel Fac, the Jumpstart box, the road flares, and a Rescue Me. So if you're sending your kid off to college and you're, going through like the empty nester thing, and you're like, I really want them to be safe, they will have the med kit in the car. They'll be able to jump their car. They'll be able to put out the flares so they don't get hit by another car, and they'll be able to do the seatbelt cutting thing. Great deal. And each of the items in that bundle have a discount on them. So if you are looking for it, it will come in the email tonight, or you can just look up the Travel Fac on our website and the whole bundle will be there. But you have to click the button for the bundle, because you could just spend the full price for the Travel Fac, or you can push the bundle one, and that will save you all the monies. What else do we have going on?
Summer savings.
Oh yeah, the summer savings,
trainings.
summer trainings. Sorry. So we have a remote responder coming up in July. That's $99. It's also free there if you do our summer adventure bundle, which is on the homepage, refugemedical.com. We have the essential responder coming up in October, and then the wilderness responder, which we're down to something. So we're down to a certain amount of spots now. We sold another one recently. That's huh? It's not full. That's going to be coming out, or that's going to be happening August 29th through September 2nd, so Labor Day weekend. And then we have a Train the Trainer coming up in November. So if you've ever taken any of our classes from the refuge responder through the essential responder, you qualify. You've already hit the prereqs to do Train the Trainer. So that will be happening in November. Yes, get your butt to class, what Stryker said. We've had more aid rendereds come in. One of the guys that just did our Train the Trainer saved a life, which was amazing. And then we are actively working with Evan from Radio Made Easy to get the next class on the schedule. That class, the moment we put that class on the site, you need to get your spot. That class oversold by 4 on accident, and I kept having to be like this to talk to Hannah to get another seat added to it. It sells out, and then we have people who are getting on a waiting list to get onto it. So once we get that into the store, we'll send out a little memo saying, hey, Radio Made Easy's back in the store. Don't sit on that. It will sell out again.
All the classes sell out.
All the classes sell out. So that's what we have going on. I think, yes, I told you about the travel facts. So is that Jack Daniels up on the shelf? Yes.
This over here?
It's Jack Daniels. I think there's some vodka up there.
Is that? Yeah.
It's for the hard days.
Some radios up here. There's some dust up there.
Yeah, I can't see up that high, so
I know.
I don't know what's
We
going
know.
on there.
What do we got over here? We got a little Ivan Williams, a little screwball, little Hornitos right there. Hey, one of y'all sent me this cool wooden sign. Thank you. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Really good. This quick shout out to CENTCOM. Thank you, CENTCOM, for the flag. Appreciate you. This was the Gen 0 Bearfac right here. That's the Gen 1. That's a Gen 2. So we started here, and then we built this, and then we built this. We're now onto the Gen 3 right here. I mean, that's the Gen 3 with the side-mounted Molly bar tack in here for tourniquets or shears or flashlights, pen lights, whatever you want to put there. Still Molly compatible on the back. But yeah, that's the Gen 3. We started at this. It's a Gen 0. See right there, Gen 0. And this one had years of use. This one's mine. There's only 6 of these on planet Earth. And then that led to this one here, which is the Gen 1. We deleted the front pockets for the tourniquets because they snag on stuff for like a military application. For civilian application is fine, but we deleted that. It's got just a little drawstring. It's just a drawstring pouch with an inner pouch. It kind of this had just like a zipper pouch almost in it, so like no organization. And then it was when we got to the Gen 2 that we added the internal in there, the internal organizer. And so, like, what do I mean by that? Well, turns out I got a tripod right here. Look at that lighting, so good. Dudley's cringing. So, right, grab this, pull it open, grab the red handle, pull, and with one hand, I can open it and none of my stuff goes away. And it's all organized, prioritized per the March algorithm. I'd like to give a special shout out to the dozens of companies on planet Earth who have ripped our shit off. You know, imitation is the highest form of flattery. Thank you, brother. And you guys are not us. You're never gonna be us, and your shit still sucks because you make it in China. Unlike us, we make everything here in the United States of America, guarantee it forever, because that's how confident we are in our stuff. Because there are people that are doing things that never happen in places that don't exist, that literally bet their lives on our stuff. And so, if you want the real stuff, you can get it at refugemedical.com. If you want the Chinese knockoff stuff, just do yourself a favor. Go ahead and pre-order the flowers for the funeral from, I like Pro Flowers. They've always given me good customer service, but maybe there's like a local florist where you are. You could throw them a couple of bucks. You know, keep it in the family.
Hey, Harmony and I like those flowers at our desk, just saying.
Yeah, and we know.
Yeah.
Sarah's not going to send you more flowers. She's just not going to send you more flowers.
There's a bunch of other people on there that could.
But then you got to ask yourself the question: why is the internet sending you flowers? Make you happy. Okay. All right. Let's see. This is totally not a GoRuck GR1 foot care kit. This is totally not going to be a strategic partnership at some point. So definitely don't. That means nothing. That's the show, y'all. There's the mission statement: to save lives while in service to the Father's kingdom and experience the abundance of His provision and blessing. I hope you all have an awesome day. Watch out for weird stuff, man. It's getting weird out there. It's getting really, really weird out there. However, don't believe the hype. Okay. The thing that happened in Idaho sucks for the people that it happened to in Idaho. Like it's a big deal. However, it didn't happen here. And Corn Pop, if you're a Leo and don't have a Bearman and a belt kit, you're wrong. Yeah. We just had Ada rendered. It was a bouncer at a bar where a patron got punched in the face with a pair of brass knuckles, and bare minimum to the rescue. So you never know what's gonna happen, man. In any event, what happened in Idaho sucks for the people in Idaho, and it's getting a lot of national and international media because. What's up, Rhonda Miller? Rhonda Miller, total badass. It's getting a lot of international and national attention, as it should. But why? Why? Why and who? Who make it happen, let it happen, knew it was gonna happen, we had them on our radar. It's fishy. And so, especially approaching the 4th of July, head on a swivel. If you have one of these, highly recommend it. If you don't have one of those, let's continue our walk. We're almost done putting a bow on this thing. We still don't sell wheat. Come on in. Water and EMT bag, fire extinguisher. Back there, fuel. Rucksack, chainsaw, stomp bag, PPE, case of MREs right there. Batteries, caffeine, nicotine, clothing. Rifle, helmet, nods, saw rig from Sojourn Gear, belt rig from SOE, and down there is a Mayflower tactical rig right there. Huh? Are we seeing patterns, boys and gerbils? Oh look, headrest mounted first aid kit from Refuge Medical. Door pocket, bug spray, magazines, chem lights, Bic lighter, snackies, more bug spray, wipes underneath the seat. Wrangler Star keeps making his speedball videos, and I love it. Underneath the seat, good to go. I wonder what's over here on this side. How about a box of Narcan, naloxone, a radio made easy handout book right here, and oh look, hardware. Combination ambulance and gun truck, all my vehicles. Combination ambulance and gun truck. Why? Because the county I live in has 8 ambulances, 3 of them run. And EMTs start at $14.50 an hour. And the sheriff's department starts at $15 an hour. So, and because I will be at 100% of my emergencies. Okay? That's why. I will be at 100% of my emergencies. So, train and train hard. Like, hard. Real hard. Get the equipment that you need and keep your head on a swivel because Independence Day is coming. And if there are nefarious bad actors in the United States of America, if I was one of those guys, I would all the way be picking Independence Day for the day that it's going to pop off. Okay? Where's your PFD for water rescue response? I float, David. I float, and I have rope. What kind of gloves do you use? Not medical. Typically deerskin leather gloves. Size large, because then they stick to my hands. They're very tight, and then you get them wet, and then they form fit to your hands. So you have dexterity with them. That's it. I'm out. Buy some Alpine stuff. I still got a full roll of this. Rick S., buy 93 more of these kits, okay? All right? I know. It's going into July. If you live north of the imaginary line in the snow, buy some Alpine stuff. If you don't, red, Ranger green, coyote, black, gray, whatever. I'll see you. I want to see you. Happy Monday. Shalom, everyone.